name is Father Lamar Partin. I'm the new pastor here at Santa Catalina, and I just want to bring you this brief message today. Welcome all of you back to Mass this coming weekend. We'll begin Mass here at Santa Catalina on Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. That Mass will be for those 65 years and older. Then we'll have Mass Saturday at 4 p.m., Sunday morning at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, and then again on Monday morning at 9 a.m. The bishop has given us permission to do the Sunday Mass Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. During this time, I just want to make it just very clear to you that Bishop Weisenberger has continued the dispensation from Sunday obligation for all Catholics and visitors in the Diocese of Tucson. So no one is obliged to come to Mass during this time. Now, we will be reopening the church for Masses, but if you are 65 or older, we're going to ask you to please refrain from going to Mass unless you feel comfortable in coming. Here at Santa Catalina, we are going to do everything that we can to make this experience a safe experience. But as you know full well, that there is always a risk involved. So please keep that in mind if you do plan to come and join us this weekend for Mass. Some of the things that we're doing here at Santa Catalina are going to be a little bit different from the normal Sunday liturgies that you are quite used to. One of the main differences is going to be when you come into the church, you're going to see these lines on the floor. So these are approximately 6 feet apart to encourage you to social distance from one another. Another thing that we're going to ask for your protection is that for everyone to wear a mask when they come to church. Now, as you're coming into church, follow me. You will notice that the church, majority of the chairs have been removed from the church. All the chairs and seating arrangements are spaced 6 feet apart to keep that social distancing. If you notice in the pockets of the chairs, there are no hymnals or missalettes or other worship aids. We will be projecting all of the readings, all of the prayers up on the back walls of the church. Now, this is not a perfect thing at this time. We are continually working on it, but hopefully this will serve the purpose for this weekend, and we can continue to work on it and make it better for you, for your worship experience. Just remember, as you are coming into Mass, all of the holy water fountains will be empty. And I know it's a natural reflex for Catholics to reach out for that holy water. It's quite instinctive for me as well. But please remember, the holy water fonts will be empty. As you're coming into Mass, there will be hand sanitizer stations here on the bookcases. We ask you to please just take a moment and sanitize your hands when you're coming into church. Some of the other things that you're going to have to get used to as you're coming in, I'm going to check my list to make sure I get everything, is that during the Mass there will be no sign of peace. We will ask you to offer each other a sign of peace, but we're going to ask you to please just to turn to your neighbor with a nod of your head, a little bow maybe, a little wave, whatever you're comfortable with, but just please refrain from reaching over that 6 feet to grab and shake somebody's hands. Another difference will be is at the end of Mass, after the final blessing, is when we will do the distribution of communion. So as we give the final blessing, I will be up at the altar. The communion ministers will be standing in front of me. We will process out to the front of the church, where there will be 4 communion stations out front for people to come to receive the Eucharist. Just follow the social distance lines here in the church. We're going to ask that they start from the back and file out. And as we go out to the front, we will have 4 areas where the Eucharistic ministers will stand. So please come to one of the Eucharistic ministers in one of these 4 spots, 2, 3, 4. The other thing during the Mass, as we're celebrating it, is there will be no collection basket passed around. You know, that entails people touching the basket and passing it to one another. So if you have not signed up for online giving, which we highly encourage, there will be a basket in the rear of the church for you to place your envelopes. You know, and it's just, when you're coming back to Mass, the main important thing is just to use common sense. You know, if you touch any item, you know, sanitize your hands. When you leave church, sanitize your hands, and when you get home, give your hands a good wash for 20 seconds with soap and water. When you're in the church, it's very normal for us to reach out and want to shake hands with other people, to give them a hug, to welcome them back because you haven't seen them in over 2 months. But just please be very conscious of that. You know, when you see someone, just, you know, it's good to see you. Give them a little bow or do the little elbow thing if you want to make some type of contact. But it's just try to keep that social distance from one another. This is a very uneasy time that we're all living in. Every single one of us, we have some anxiety at some level in dealing with the COVID-19, fearing for infection, fearing of passing it on to someone else. But if we all come together, if we're wearing our mask, if we're keeping our hands clean, if we're keeping ourselves 6 feet apart from one another, we can really make this work. And I just ask you just to please be patient with us during this time. Like I said, there will be some changes in the church, but as you can see, we have tried to accommodate the social distancing changes and other aspects during the Mass. There's a lot of guidelines from the diocese that I've had to implement and follow. So just right now, just really ask for your patience, but most of all, I ask for your prayers. Just please pray for me, pray for the staff here at Santa Catalina, for all the people who have courageously volunteered to minister, and pray for our parish that we'll continue to figure out a way to come together as the body of Christ to be that encouragement and that support from one another. And part of that encouragement and support is coming together and helping one another out. Some of the ways that we do need help during this time is for volunteers to stay after Mass, to help clean up the church a little bit. We'll be spraying all of the chairs with the disinfectant at the church. That's why we had to do away with the 9 o'clock Mass, to give the chairs time to dry. We need people to contact us if you know of someone in the parish who needs to be reached out to. Someone who may not have email at this time, that we have no other way to contact them. If you can please let us know how to contact those people so we can make that contact with them and let them know that they are in our prayers, and we want to make them included in what's going on during this COVID-19 and stay connected to Santa Catalina Parish. Together, if we come and help one another out, be patient with one another, be loving with one another, and respectful with one another, brothers and sisters, we can really make this happen. But we must be willing to come together as the body of Christ and do what He commanded us, to love one another. Have a very blessed afternoon. I really hope to see you this weekend. If you would like to contact me here at the parish, you can give me a call at any time. My email is listed in the bulletin. I'll be more than happy to respond. I'm pretty prompt at that. And I'll be happy to talk to you if you call. So many blessings on your day, many blessings on your weekend, but just bottom line, be safe. If you're 65 and older and are vulnerable, consider staying home. But if you feel like you need to come to Mass, just be safe. Blessings.